it's a very short update on my trades this week. As maybe you remember, last week wasn't so great. My psychology wasn't in the right place. However, this week I stayed disciplined. I placed only 5 trades plus 1 accidental, mainly on oil and 1 on platinum. And also I backtested platinum to see where I should place my stop loss. And I think I have a good feedback from backtesting. So let's jump to it and let's see what have I done this week. And here we are in TradeZilla, which is my favorite app for the stats. And already I selected dates from the 16th of June till the 20th of June, so this week. And you can see that my profit was $225. Trade percentage win was 50%. It could be slightly better if I would not place this accidental trade. Profit factor was 2.5, which is really good. And very important, average win to loss trade was 2.5. So I was trying to protect my profit and trying to make those losing trades as small as possible. So that is great. And here we are having my calendar, and we can see that I placed the trades only during 4 days. I didn't place any trade on Tuesday, and Thursday was the day when there was a US holiday, so I placed trades only before the London session to close them during the London session and not get into the New York session, as I was expecting that it will be very low with the volume. However, surprisingly, the volatility of the prices was very big on Thursday. Most of the trades that I was saying were on oil, apart from Thursday. On Thursday, I placed 1 trade on platinum. And another thing that I really like to pay attention to is trade duration performance. And this week, I placed most of my trades above 1 hour holding time, which is very good, especially that I'm on 1 hour time frame. So I should hold for more than 1 hour at least. So here we're seeing all of my trades. As I was saying, most of them are on oil. And here's the first winning trade, which I am the most proud of. And when we will see at it, it was 130 ticks. I only went with 1 contract as I wanted to take it easy this week and be more consistent and be more disciplined. So most of my trades are taken with Tori Trade Strategy. So check out her profile because she's really amazing and her strategy is very good. Finally, I'm getting profitable, as you can see. And here we're seeing that we're having 1, 2, almost 3rd, 4th touch point break, and that's why I was very convinced on this trade. But because I was having so many losses last week, I decided to take profits on my support resistant line and don't hold it any longer. And so I was very happy with my profits. It was just 1 contract, so it was just $128, but I'm very happy with that trade. And as you know, I wasn't trading on Tuesday, so the next trade which I took was on Wednesday, and this was a loss. And this loss was because it was only 2 touch point break. It wasn't a clear 3 touch points because the 3rd touch point is so close, so I would not count it as a touch point. We also see that the price changed a direction, so that was something that was convincing me to take this trade. However, also something that I am incorporating in my own trades is that I need a strong trend line, and I'm referring to the strong trend line that the second point is at least 2 days away from the cross of the trend line. So here we're having Tuesday 7 a.m. and here we're having Wednesday. So those 2 points are not more than 2 days away from the trend line. That's why it was for me myself a very weak trend line, and I was not so convinced about taking this trade. However, because on Tuesday I haven't placed any trades, my psychology was starting to try to find a trade to get into it. So I found this one, and after literally placing it, I was like, no, this is not 3 touch point break. So well, we ended up with the loss of minus $82, so that's not too bad. I again went only with 1 contract to minimize my losses, and I'm very happy with my risk management. However, not happy with the entry point. Then, as you know, I placed 2 trades on Thursday, and it was again oil and platinum. First I placed oil, however I wasn't so convinced. At the same time, I saw gold already making a move, platinum already preparing for the move that I was observing again for the whole week. So the safest option was to place the trade on oil, and we can see like that here we were having 3 touch point break. However, again, like those second, third touch point, they are not 2 days away, so this is not a strong trend line for me, so I wasn't so much sure about this trade. I entered on this candle at 6 a.m. for me, and the price action went up and then it reversed completely, and I was pretty tired of this trade already. I knew that US is on holidays, so I was expecting that it will end up in consolidation. As we can see here already, that this was my consolidation zone, where the price of oil was moving, so I thought that like it will stay there. And at the end, like I placed my take profit on break even just to close the trade on 0 and be happy with it. So this was a break even trade on Thursday, and then the next one I took on platinum also on Thursday. And as I'm saying, like as I will show you later, I was preparing for those moves on platinum. I was studying platinum for the whole week, and here I saw that the trend line was very steep, and the price started to reject it and starting to reverse. And after crossing that support and resistance line, I decided to enter the trade here, as you can see. And as the price action was so fast, and last week when I was getting those many losses, I saw that the price of platinum was going to 60 ticks, and then it was reversing completely, and I was ending up on break even or even on minus. So then when I saw like within literally a minute the price hit 60 ticks and it started to reverse, I immediately closed with 49 ticks, and I'm very happy about that. However, after studying later that day the platinum in the past, I realized that I could very easily profit on 100 ticks or platinum, and that's very often very good take profit. So next time I will place the take profits at least on 100 ticks and try to keep it there. And obviously, as we can see from this trade, I need to very much practice on the holding time, because my holding time with platinum is terrible. The intuition where to place the trades is very good, however the holding time, terrible. So let's work on that. And the last 2 trades were on oil on Friday, and as I was saying, the first one was completely a mistake because I wanted to put stop order and I placed the limit order, and the trade was executed immediately, so I immediately closed it. So we're having a $7 loss here. And then the next one was pretty good, I would say, but maybe the time wasn't great. So if we will look more into my screenshots, so we can see that there was 1, 2, 3 touch point break, even I would say 4 touch point break of the price. And that's why I wanted to place a stop order, because I was very busy and I really wanted to get into this trade. So I was at the beginning trailing my stop order higher and higher along this trend line. However, afterwards I canceled it, and then suddenly I started to get a lot of alarms that the price is starting to cross, and I immediately wanted to enter, and it literally, when it came back, I entered. And unfortunately, when we'll see further during the day, the price actually afterwards started to consolidate. It's Friday, then London session is finishing. Very soon the markets will be closed for Saturday and Sunday, so the price action was very weak. The price was going nowhere, and even if it was such a nice break of the trend line, well, the price still consolidated. And as we see, like, this is my favorite yellow consolidation box, and yeah, the price is literally within that box. Like, it made a slight move up, but it came back and it doesn't want to go neither up or down. So I created a way steeper trend line than I should to protect my capital and exited with a $60 loss. And I'm pretty happy because at the end the price action of oil didn't go anywhere, and as we can see it even went higher. So I would definitely be kicked out by that safety line, and the price stopped on the next one, and we even don't know what will happen after the weekend. So it's better not to hold the positions during the weekend, and I'm always closing them. As you know, like, I'm holding only within one day. I'm not holding over the night, so that was a good decision that I got out of the trade earlier. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, this was my last trade of the week, only 6 trades, so that's amazing. And now I would love to show you some more information that I gathered on the platinum trades. So trades that I'm placing on platinum are slightly different, as I created this relationship with the instrument for already more than a half a year. And I realized, for example, that the price movement of platinum is happening either during the opening of the European session, so 8 a.m. UK time, or between 12 and 1 p.m. UK time, so just before the announcements of the US news. So most of my trades that I'm placing on platinum are during this opening time, something around 7, 8, 9 a.m. UK time. And for example, we're seeing here that already on Tuesday, I started to look more closely to the trades of platinum, and here I am more willing to take the trades with 2 touch point breaks and even weaker trend lines, but the price needs to convince me that it's going to the right direction. So this is this kind of like additional part of the intuition, what the instrument is doing. And here the middle number is the number of ticks. So this is something that I was telling you, I'm trying to figure it out, how many ticks especially my stop loss should be. Because currently I was placing the stop loss on 60 ticks and I was kicked out too often. So maybe increasing it to 80 ticks, it's a good idea. So here I was suggesting an entrance on the 8 a.m. candle, but there was a too big risk because we're seeing like it was 112 ticks of the risk. So it was way too big. Also, this trend line, the safety line, is not greatly placed. It was hard to place anything which makes sense here, so that would be not great. However, the price still managed to do this 100 ticks to the upside. Also, interestingly, I realized that when we're having the 8 a.m. candle or 7 a.m. candle, if the move is correct, it is rarely happening that the price would reverse and cross the bottom or the top, depending if we're going long and short, wick of the candle. So that means that I could decrease my risk by putting a stop loss under this wick of 7 a.m. and then after the closing candle of 8 a.m. I could place then the stop loss under the wick of the 8 a.m. candle. But at the beginning, obviously, I am not aware of that. So it is more important to place the stop loss on the knowledge that you have. So if this candle is open, I cannot place the stop loss here because the price can move and reverse completely on me. So here's the trade that we were looking at on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I was more paying attention for the time between 12 and 1 p.m. UK time, because as we can see, we could create a trend line. It's not great, it doesn't have got too many touch points. However, we can see that the price was rejected from the trend line 3 hours in a row, and then it started to make a move to the upside. Again, here the risk was too big. It was 118 ticks, while easily again it could hit 100 ticks. Funny enough, later that day I saw a perfect reset for the price. The price crossed a very strong red trend line and the 1300 mark around 4 p.m. and then it made a retest. However, because it's so late during the day for me, I was very skeptical about placing this trade. However, the price shot so much up that it made something around 300 ticks. As you can see, 292 ticks, and I'm guessing till the top of the wick it would be 300 ticks. since the moment when I wanted to take a place. And here the risk was very small as it was a retest. Then the trade that we saw already was the trade which I took the next day in the morning when the price after such a move started to reverse. I would expect that the price would get back to 1300 and retest that support resistance level and go further up. However, the price didn't even look at this trend line and crossed it immediately and went down up till one of my green upward trend lines. So as you remember, I took only 3 minutes of this candle, which was such an amazing move, but oh well. But we can see that like here the price moved by 200 ticks, so that's a lot. That's double of the amount that I'm expecting to move. And here we are having the last trade on Friday, and we can see that that one was taken at 1 p.m. This trend line has got the second point further down the line, and we could see that at 8 a.m. already the price was trying to cross this trend line, but it didn't manage. It made a pullback, and that at 1 a.m. it started to cross and make a move. So here again, I couldn't take this place at all because that move was so rapid. It was 170 ticks, so there is no way that I could have taken this trade. However, the move, as you can see already, it was more than 100 ticks, so something that it's very nice to know that Platinum can easily do those 100 ticks moves. And later that day we can see that the price even went slightly further, achieving 222 ticks, so that is very amazing. So definitely next week I want to test this 80 ticks of stop loss and 100 ticks of take profit for the Platinum. And on gold and oil, it is very important for me to place the trades when the trend line is strong or very strong and it has got 3 touch point trendline break. Hope you learned something from this slightly shorter video, and see you next week. Bye!